In fact, as of today, we are not able to do some of this production in Nigeria technically because of what it takes. It is highly demanding and full of specialties. It requires a lot of delicate attention. So most times we just prefer to go for top cross. Top cross is just carrying OPV with another inbred and just cross pollinating them, and they are self pollinating. So that's how a lot of hybrids that we have in Nigeria are produced, because it does not require any special effort. But when you want to produce a genuine hybrid, you have a lot of detasseling to do. You have a lot of care. You need about 10 to 20 trips of people going in to sort, to clean. I'm just trying to give you the process. When you say that hybrid is expensive, these are certain factors. For you to attain genetic purity, there are certain things that must be done in order to attain that genetic purity. So seed production is not cheap. Now we are talking about two types of seed. We have the open pollinated varieties, and then we have the hybrid. The open pollinated variety, like we said, it is uncontrolled pollination, and you can repeat it from year to year. What characterizes it is that you have what? Lower yield, uneven production. That's one maize can be big, another maize can be small. It can have different variation in color. Whatsoever you see is what you get. Then again, their susceptibility to environmental characters as well as diseases is very pronounced. But when you come to controlled pollination has to do with human being involved. That's the intervention of man, and that's where hybrid comes in. And that's what I've been explaining, that you take two parents of excellent characteristics that you like. It's just like the way a man and a woman comes together. I see that fine man down there. When he wanted to marry, what did he do? He went to select a very fine woman. Why? Because he's looking for a child or offspring that will be finer than him and his wife. Oh. That's the goal. Abi, am I lying? We are all praying that our children will be finer and better than us. So your children are a combination of both the man and the what? Wife. Same thing with maize. That's how we produce seed. So one thing with controlled pollination is that you cannot resow the same seed. Just like when you harvest the grains, we don't advise you to go and sow it, because when you sow it, it will have differentiated. When you sow it, you will not get what yield that you are looking for, or the characteristics that you are looking for. So you cannot get those yield, and you cannot get that capacity to tolerate diseases. So hybrid is characterized by consistency, higher yield, greater resistance to diseases and drought. Next. Now, seed is a germplasm. Just like you have in cassava, the stem is a germplasm. That planting material is what we call germplasm. So seed can be, leaf can be, plant can be, but in maize, seed is the germplasm. Next. Now we have spoken about hybrid. I said it's a crossing. Okay, take for instance now. Let me just use myself as an example. You see that fine lady there? Let me take an example now. Imagine a cross between me and her. You know how beautiful that child is going to be. You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it. Next. So that's the basics of what? Hybrid. Hybrid is about looking for children that will be very what? Fine. Hybrid is selective breeding. So if we cross two inbred parents which are genetically different from one another, the hybrid offspring will often be what? Vigorous and higher yielding. That is the purpose, because we want to get what? A vigorous and higher yielding seed. Is why we cross two parents that have excellent quality. Another thing is that hybrid is better at using water and nutrients than OPV varieties. That's why we call them efficient nitrogen users. They know how to maximize the nutrient in your soil. That is why most of the time, when you sell your seed to farmers, they are going to use the same kind of fertilizer PV for they are getting more yield. But the thing about hybrid is that it has better capacity, higher potential than your OPV. There is no amount of petrol that you put inside keke, it will never fly. But if you put kerosene inside aeroplane, it will fly. Because of what? The capacity. It's the same thing with seed. So the genetic makeup of a seed determines the potential of the yield. Next. So what are the advantages of hybrid seed? Superiority in what? Offspring, which I have been saying. Hybrid vigor. That hybrid vigor is that capacity to germinate. It will come out very well, very healthy. You will know it is disease free. Each plant will express the traits as established in the parent. So when you look at a child, it's just like now, if you look at my child, you go know say na me born am. Know how, if I bring my son here now, if you see him, you will know that monkey no dey born lion. You will see, you will know that I'm a very proud father. That's how it is. So that's the advantage of hybrid. The good quality of both parents, the offspring will pick it, and it will be expressed in your yield. Now, effectively combats what? Production strain, resulting in better performance. Unlike the parents, these ones, when you are producing it, it is easy for you to manage, unlike their parents. That's why I said to produce inbred is quite difficult in country. It's highly technical. Almost impossible, because nobody has succeeded in Nigeria in producing it. Now, but to produce the seed, all of us are farming maize now. All of us are maize farmers. That's how it is with hybrids. Then another advantage is that hybrid seed, what do they strive for? Excellence. In terms of performance, higher yield, stable yield. You know that it's not that this year it is giving me 10 ton, then next year it will now come and give me 4 ton. No. It will be giving you stable yield. As long as you can give it the right adequate management as long as the environmental condition, the gap is correct, you will get stable and excellent yield. Now, the grain quality, it is rich in minerals, it is rich in characteristics. The grittiness, my brother here was talking about how good this maize is for tuwo. I can agree with him. The good thing is that if you farm DK777, you cannot even be, there's no dusa. That's one good thing with it. It is very good for flour. It is also very good for those who are using it to process, whether you are processing feed or you are processing cereals. All the companies, they like it. Another excellent thing about this our seed is that it has very strong root system. It goes very deep into the soil. It penetrates deep, it plants itself. So when there's a strong wind, it can withstand strong wind. Not only so, it can withstand lodging. So whether it is stalk lodging or it is root lodging, it has the capacity to withstand better than competition. We have tested it all across the country and we are getting the same result. In terms of standability, it stands out. And it also has the capacity to withstand drought. We have seen it in Oyo. We have farmers with testimonies that after 5 rain, the rest is just juice that brought it to harvest. Some is 3 rains due in Oyo because they've had terrible rainfall there. Then in the north, thank God, my people from Brazil, they are here. Tudu Wada is here. These are places that you know that their rainfall pattern is not so high. But when you can see, not only is it that it is striving against, tolerant against drought, it is also tolerant against strider. For you to be getting 6 tons in a farm that is infested, I say highly infested with strider, in the north, tells you the quality of this seed. Next. Now, we have openly put it in a very simple format the difference between OPV and hybrid, because we must emphasize this. We must make the difference very clear so that people will understand that a hybrid, this is it, an OPV, this is it. And why are we stating this? One has the potential in making you richer, making the farmer richer, and the other one has the potential in keeping the farmer at the place it is. Now, hybrid is produced by what? Human intervention. OPV is produced by what? Open pollination. That one, and as God do am, na so e go be. You don't need to stress yourself. But this one, human beings must pollinate it. Hybrid is developed by combination of crossing two or more distinct different parents in order to achieve what? A seed. Unlike pollinated variety, it is just through natural selection. It is pollinated by wind and insects. Pollination is specific and controlled with hybrid. In open pollinated variety, it is just by randomization by the wind. Now, when we say pollination is specific and controlled, it means that the male and the female are planted separately. The male is only permitted to pollinate the female. The male too is going to produce, but they are going to remove all that it has produced. Then you detassel. As you are removing the female too is producing flower, so you must detassel that one too, so that it does not what? Self-pollinate, which is the one that we call selfing, in order to get what? Genetic purity. Next. So hybrid decalbs are simply hybrids, and they are developed to meet our needs. Next. Now, these are the two hybrids that we have in Nigeria presently for commercial, DK777 and DK777. But here we are emphasizing DK777. Next. Now, what are those qualities that stands it out? What are those things you should be looking for in a hybrid? One, high germination. It means that with high germination, you cannot but plant only one seed per hole. You should not plant more than what? One seed per hole. Highly adaptable across different environments. It means that from Kano to Bayelsa, you can plant this maize and be rest assured that it will grow and it will produce good yield. Now, in terms of tolerance to drought, which I have mentioned, it has been able to withstand a place where there have been no more than 4 rains, 5 rains. In terms of disease tolerance, it is tolerant to most of our common foliar diseases, which we have listed there. Grain quality, we all know that when you harvest DK777 and you bring a competition, the same bag, different weight. We all know that the weight of DK777 in a bag is far, far heavier than any other competition. That is the advantage. It is weightier, it is fuller. It may just look small and simple, but it is heavy. And that's just the truth about it. Because why? It is denser in content than most seeds. Uniformity. When it comes to uniformity in the field, you will see it is even. It has distinct color. It does not go that one is tall, one is short. Then good horse cover. That good horse cover allows that diseases does not affect your maize in the field. What it means is that insects will not just be entering in, and water will not be entering into the mouth of the maize cob in the field. Then good standability. Good standability has to do with the root system. Because we have a very good fibrous root system of this Dekalb hybrid, is able to penetrate and stand firm. That's why no matter how strong the wind blows, no matter how it is, it will not lodge. It will stand well in order to guarantee and deliver the yield it has promised. Now, another thing is ear dropping. When you see that the thing is heavy towards harvest, you will see that when it is dry, it will now drop. The dropping is that it is heavy. Then the advantage is that it does not allow for water, rainwater to gather. Imagine that rainwater is entering your dry maize during the distance. So that advantage, that dropping prevents rain water from entering, because if rain enters, it will rot in and insects will also penetrate it. Now, another sweet advantage is that double curbing. We all know what double curbing is. Next. So why do farmers choose Dekalb? The picture speaks for itself. We have talked about uniformity, we have talked about double curbing, which I just mentioned, which is very visible in this picture. Next. Uniformity. You can see that they will maintain the same height, the same beautiful vegetation. Next. Now, excellent germination. We can attest to you that when you plant Dekalb,